We are doing it. We are doing it. Let's see what we can do here. It says live, but I don't know. We'll have to see. People have to let me know if this comes on right. We're just trying to do a little catch up here. It's been a minute since we came on here. Tell me you don't love that eagle in the background. I love it. So anyway, what I wanted to do is just come on here. It's been a minute since I've been on here consistently. And I just want to come on and talk about a couple things because I just find it to be so amazing. Right now you're seeing across the country something I never imagined would take place. And what I mean specifically is the insanity over the government, right? The government that is so corrupt, all right? We talk about, the deep state. I think what we're learning here now, watching what's going on with the different, Doge stuff that's coming out, is it really is the unelected bureaucracy that doesn't want to lose power, that doesn't want to be held accountable, that wants to continue doing what they're doing. And I really do think, I want to say this because for me, it's mind-blowing. I think the Democrat Party is absolutely done. I think what they're doing, fighting, Republicans finding fraud, waste, and abuse is insane. The amount of money that's been shipped all over the world for the most ridiculous projects anywhere is just crazy to me. And I cannot believe that you're seeing, there's some real winners on there. There's a congressman out of Florida, a complete idiot. There's that Crockett or whatever her name is out of Texas, who was on welfare before she went to Congress. And now she's worth, millions of dollars. She's talking about, I got a post on my Instagram where she says that she doesn't think the government should be giving money back. What would $5,000 do for folks anyway? I know a lot of people that $5,000 would do a lot for, and that would love to have that money. So to me, it just blows my mind that this is even happening. But I think some of the things that are craziest to me, and I'm going to just pull up some of my Instagram stories, the stuff I put in there. For starters, let's talk about this Epstein stuff. So what's going on there? There's got to be something there. And I think it's funny because people say, oh, they're blocking it because of Trump. So you think Biden blocked anything that would have saved Trump? Or maybe there's just too many people on there. They don't want anybody to see it. I don't know. I'm not really sure what's happening. I don't know what's going on with my chat here. But I think what's interesting is that this stuff's going to come out. And when you're hearing stuff about Kash Patel and Pam Bondi saying that they're erasing or they're deleting stuff off the servers, there's just no way that they didn't, they waited till Kash was confirmed. If they had all this bad stuff, I think they would have done it. I honestly think some of that stuff is just gaslighting, messaging, because there's going to be some arrests coming. There's just no way what we're seeing is going to be allowed to happen. The millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars given to nonprofits, these NGOs, these charity organizations that then turn around and give it back to Democrats and other people in government. And I think it's crazy that people are fighting about it. You know what? The other thing I think is nuts. We got to talk about this. So everybody knows that I came, people didn't know much about Joey Gilbert outside of my boxing career, that I was a lawyer until the pandemic hit. Then the pandemic hit, and I thought it was absolutely insane that our scumbag governor, Steve Sisolak, was closing businesses, and the kids were sent home. They were distance learning. Meanwhile, some of you guys know we had the highest, suicide rates per capita in the nation in the state of Nevada. We had businesses closing, never to open again, and it didn't make sense. Meanwhile, I'm going back and forth to Florida. They're playing kids sports. The businesses are open, and there's the crazies that were in the face diapers, and some of those people are still wearing them. You go through an airport now, you see healthy guys my age wearing a face diaper, and you just know they're a sociopath. They've been so, gaslit and brainwashed that they don't even know what to do anymore. That's scary to me. That is absolutely terrifying to me, but you see it everywhere. Still happening. It's been 5 years. Guys, we're coming up on March 20th now. It's been 5 years. Did I lose my eagle again? Son of a gun. Let me go off this. This is frustrating. I'm just going to go to the generic flag for right now. But I got an eagle that's awesome, right? You guys saw that eagle. But anyway, I want to talk about this. The COVID stuff. So meanwhile, thousands of people lost their jobs. Workers, okay? Business owners. People were kicked out of the military for not taking the jibber jab, the Fauci ouchie. Teachers, healthcare workers. Meanwhile, now, Trump's trying to cut the pork and the fat. Many of these people, their jobs are a joke. Okay, we got people mad that they have to send an email in. Let me tell you something. As a business owner with multiple businesses, if I ask my employees to send me an email about what they did in the preceding week or two and they don't do it, I would fire them on the spot. And I don't think any of them would have a problem with that. It's called accountability. It's insane. But to just see these folks going up to Capitol Hill and sitting in senators' offices and crying and whining that they're losing their job, and no one said boo about the military members, about law enforcement, about fire. What about LA? How many firemen were sent packing? Okay. Did you see any of this stuff? Was anybody, crying for them? Were there senators standing up? Did you guys see one Democrat senator standing up for the thousands of people that were fired for not getting the Fauci? Did you see one Democrat senator standing up for the military members that were sent home? Okay. What about one Democrat senator fighting for the healthcare workers that were canceled and sent home? You didn't see one of them. Meanwhile, just the other night, they do pass the no taxes on tips, the no taxes on overtime. Not one Democrat voted for it. This is the party of working people. Remember how they just tried to sell you all this? It's almost as if the election didn't take place in November. They are doubling down on the most insane stuff I've ever seen. So when you see these guys coming out, and they're not one Democrat, I think 2 Democrats voted to protect women in sports. But this is the party that protects women. This is the party that protects women's rights. Meanwhile, they want men to be allowed into women's sports. They want men to be allowed in women's private spaces, their locker rooms. They want men to be able to take opportunities from women. Okay, there was just a United Nations thing that came out on how many, medals and awards were taken from women across 29 sports. I think it was like 900 medals. It's crazy. But then you see the Democrats gaslighting. They're more mad about Elon Musk and the Doge team finding billions and billions of abuse and fraud and waste than they are about any of the stuff that's actually happening. They're more mad about that and want to stop Elon from looking for the fraud, waste, and abuse than anything else. Not one of them have gone to the not one has gone to the podium and said, wow, this is incredible. Maybe we shouldn't doing this. Meanwhile, you guys know what happened. We had all these, terrible events in North Carolina, right? All the stuff, the hurricanes. We had the train stuff in Ohio. We had stuff everywhere. Okay, it's everywhere. No money was given, or $700. Let's talk about LA. Let's talk about Hawaii. But we're going to ship hundreds of millions, billions of dollars overseas. We're going to spend 30, 40, 50 million dollars on DEI projects. Stuff in Guatemala. We're teaching pottery. Okay, to people that have been making pottery for thousands of years. It's crazy. But what I think is even crazier is that you don't see, I will not call them colleagues. You don't see the nut jobs on the other side calling any of it exactly what it is, fraud, waste, and abuse. And I really do think that they're messing with a much different person in Donald Trump this time. I think we all know why Donald Trump self-funded his transition team. I think he's light years ahead of all these guys. Another thing I think is hysterical, and I just don't think anybody realizes this, is that Donald Trump and Elon, I'm going to put a message in here. Donald Trump and Elon already got everything they wanted. So you see these people going nuts, these judges legislating from the bench. I think that Elon's absolutely right. These guys that are so left, so biased, so many of them have conflicts of interest, just like the judge, the Merchant judge in New York, and the other one on the Mar-a-Lago prop, totally conflicted, have no business being in there. But then you see all these folks, you see judges right now making rulings, and their spouses or organizations are involved with directly benefit from the money that Trump's cut off. How does that even happen? How does that even happen? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I can't understand it to save my life. I just want to make sure my channels are up here. Streaming. We got everything. I don't know why we're not seeing anybody on Facebook. I said, should people in the chat here? I don't know why we're not seeing anybody. But I will say this. You have all these folks. Ooh, I would put it on the Facebook one. That's maybe what it is. Oh, it's read only. All right. Anyway, let me go to another one because I want to bring up some of the stuff that I've been talking about. Okay, so then let's talk about these judges. Okay, so you guys saw the Supreme Court had to step in and stops Biden judge the midnight deadline, halts order they were going to force the Trump administration to pay $2 billion in foreign aid contracts. I mean, is this insane? Okay, here's something that this is that Crockett. This girl is absolutely brain dead. And she says,
I think why are we so in debt then? We're in debt because we decided that we're going to reduce the income.
So he says to her, don't you think there's a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse? And she says, no, I don't think there is. I think there might be some, but I don't think it's as bad as they're saying. And he says, so why are we always in debt? And she goes, because they're reducing the income. Yeah, they're reducing. This is a member of Congress. This is the same, complete, degenerate that when they said, what do you have to message to give to Elon Musk? She says, FO, FO. This is how bad they are. It's actually disgraceful. I can't believe these people are in Congress. I mean, these people need to all be removed for the way they act. Here's something that I thought was awesome, guys. So they did this. Andrew Yang, you guys remember Andrew Yang? He tried to run for president for a little bit. Another one of those, bleeding heart liberals, too far left. Anyway, he does a poll the other night. I think this was Tuesday night. How are you all feeling about the Trump administration thus far? 73% say great. Another 10% say okay. So that's 83%. Only 12% say terrible. 5% say they don't know. And those are the people who have no spine and never say anything. So let's just take it at that. I'll add them up. I'll do the 73 plus 10, 83 plus 5. Okay. So we'll take 88% are okay with it. Trump's gone up 20. And even if you want to take the okay away, 83% instead of 88%, 83% are either okay or think it's great what he's doing. So that leads me to my other segue. You've got James Carville, a guy I can't stand, another degenerate from the Democrat Party. He's on there saying now Trump supports collapsing. He gives it a month. But just the other night, 73% say great. 10% say okay. So we got 83% are perfectly fine with Trump's doing. Let me tell you this. I would vote for Trump 1,000 more times if I could. He's doing everything I could have asked him to do and more. Same thing with Elon. And so when people say, Joey, what about the gas? What about the eggs? Well, hey, geniuses, do you know whose administration was killing hundreds of millions of chickens? And why is it that the bird flu only affects chickens? Anybody want to throw that one out there? Or how about the fact that now we've got Anthony Fauci, we've got gain of function research being done to be able to take bird flu and move it to humans. They're doing that, okay? They've actually found this stuff in the research they've been doing. That doesn't worry anybody. Why on earth would they be, which by the way, bird flu is very deadly for humans. Why would they be studying or spending any dollars right now on trying to move bird flu from birds to humans? Why would that be a thing we want to do right now after what we just went through? But they're doing it. So again, this is all stuff that should concern everybody. Why we haven't been able to band together a little more and say, you know what? This is crazy. When you see Democrat members of Congress, they're cheering for everybody but America. They're mad at Trump because he might. So this is, it's like hard to even like think through this. Makes your brain hurt. So Canada has all kinds of tariffs on our goods. They cost the United States roughly $200 billion plus a year. So Trump's merely going to do the same to them to equalize the trade deficits, and they're losing their minds. Saying they're cheering for Canada. Mexico, okay? Billions, hundreds of billions of dollars are sent back to Mexico. And anybody that knows me knows I'm a huge fan of Mexico. Half my staff are from Mexico. Half my clients are from Mexico, okay? I love Mexico, but I don't think anybody should be getting up on the United States. I just don't think so. We're Americans, right? Are we not? So when you see these complete degenerates that are in our Congress, okay, that are in our government, cheering for the Mexican president. Oh, she's going to do the go girl, go girl. Oh, now all of a sudden they're fans of Trudeau, one of the biggest like little fairies on the planet, just like the guy in Ukraine. All of a sudden now we're fans of the guy in Ukraine. Meanwhile, oh, here's a post I have. This was awesome. I posted this the other day. This was mind-blowing to me. Let me just tell you guys about the Ukrainian president. The president of Ukraine owns a $35 million Florida home, has $1.2 billion in an overseas bank account. $1.2 billion. All right? In an overseas bank account. Owns 15 homes, 3 private planes, and has a monthly income of over $11 million. And you guys are going to go cheer for him because Trump wants to shut off the spigot? How can anybody with a straight face, where do you think he got that money from? He was a very, very bad, like a C-rated actor, C-rated comedian, very low talent. And this guy's worth that kind of money? And you think it just showed up there? It's just nuts. It's absolutely nuts to have these conversations with people. So again, when you see American members of Congress, when you see members of the Senate, that Adam Schiff, oh my God, I hope that guy goes down. I hope Kash Patel and Dan Bongino do a number on this guy like no one's ever seen. It's that unbelievable. It's literally that unbelievable. And so when you see these guys cheering for other countries, cheering for Canada, cheering for Mexico, cheering for the president of Ukraine, because he's going to do Trump dirty, everybody wants to see Trump fail. Hey guys, I know you've heard about this before. It's like wanting the pilot of your airplane to crash out in the cockpit. He's the president. You've got these insane people. I mean, I put on CNN once in a while. I love that Scott Jennings. You guys watch Scott Jennings take these people to the woodshed. He's got this guy on there last night who's saying that President Trump is shredding the Constitution. He's governing with the Constitution. Everything he's doing is lawful. You just don't like it. You're crazy. You're out of your mind. So again, let's talk about some other stuff. Oh, this was one of my favorite things of the week. Joy Reid got canceled and fired from MSNBC. First of all, this race-baiting sociopath was painful to watch. She's gone. It's incredible. I could not be more, excited and glad that lady got fired. I don't think anybody is sad that she's gone. And talk about a sociopath. This lady would go on there and say the craziest stuff. And here's the thing we learned. We learned that USAID was funding all these different organizations, Politico, the AP, Reuters. So what we learned and what we've been learning is the left really does not have the kind of support that they try to posture like they do. No, they don't. No one wants this stuff. No one will pay for this stuff. They have to be supported with our tax dollars. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But until here's one thing we have to talk about. Trump came out and said it. I've been talking about it since 2020. As soon as I saw what they did here in the state of Nevada, rolling up into, what they did for the election to make sure that obviously Trump lost. And I don't care. I'll say this as long as I need to say it. They absolutely used the mail-in ballots and the other nonsense, the ballot harvesting to get people in that should not be in. Everywhere we've seen it, we have got to get rid of the mail-in ballots. We need voter ID. We shouldn't have a machine anywhere. We should have paper ballots with a watermark at the precinct level, 1 day of voting or a very short, early voting period. Absolutely. I think we could have absentee ballots for old folks that need it, our seniors, of course, and for military. But drop shipping millions and millions of ballots all over the state, this state for sure, ridiculous. Nevada was the laughing stock again when it took how many weeks to count our ballots? Took California like 2 months. And we lost a number of House seats there in Orange County that we never in a Trump presidency, okay? Meaning that Trump's running, he was dragging all these people across the finish line, and we lose House seats in Orange County, a place I spent a ton of time, a place I know really well, okay? The Republican stronghold in California, and we lose it? No way. No way. Everybody knows what happened. So you heard Trump the other day talking about how all governors should get rid of the nonsense. Why would not anybody, okay? And here's what I say to my I don't even want to call them friends anymore, to the people on the other side, to the absolute sociopaths. that work on the other side of my team, why would you not want fair and free elections? And if we're so wrong, why would you not just say, then do it then? Let's see. If we're wrong, then let's implement watermarked paper ballots at the precinct level, okay, hand counted. Prove us wrong. You want to know why? Because you'll lose every single tight race that you've been winning, and then some. You'll never be in a majority anywhere. And that includes California. That's how confident I am. In Nevada, we will lock back Republican leadership in here in both the legislature, okay, and all officers like that. That's how quick it'll go, which is why they will fight anybody that tries to get rid of the mail-in ballot. And I'll tell you something, it's a security issue. It is absolutely, you just cannot, when they do this, the most secure, election ever. They want you to believe that 2020 was the most secure election ever. Get out of here. Just stop it. And if it's so true, and again, these are not like Republican issues anymore. You've got more than 70%, I think it's 75% of the nation is saying that, you know what, maybe our elections aren't as safe and secure as they say they are. So again, prove us wrong. Let's switch. And again, if the cost is ridiculous, it's like 9% of the cost that it is for the machines and all the other ballot nonsense than if you just go to paper ballots, watermarked at the precinct level, hand counted, results in before 10 o'clock, like it used to be. Okay, I moved to this state, to Nevada, I think in 1988, 1989. I think it was 87, 88, excuse me. And we move out here, and I'll never forget, we were living in Sparks. It was by before the 10 o'clock news, they had almost everybody done. And now, fast forward 30 years, all the technology, it takes longer. Does that make any sense to anybody? I mean, like, come on, guys, it doesn't pass the laugh test. It really does not pass the laugh test. And so I would love to see everybody confident in our elections and our safe, secure elections. And for that to happen, we've got to get rid of all the nonsense and switch back. And I hope we do. But let me talk about a couple other last things. How about RFK? Right, guys? You already see Steak and Shake is switching out of seed oils. I think they're going to go to beef tallow. Guys, we really have a chance to make America healthy again. I am so excited about this. For those of you guys that have seen some of my other stuff I'm doing, I've got TKO Health and Wellness, known as TKO Vitality. It's a telemed platform where we are making available to anybody who's interested the ability to get some blood work done, talk to a doctor, get hormone replacement therapy in forms of testosterone for males, both synthetic injectable, or you can take an oral pill. So we have it all. If you want to lose some weight, we have the ability to get tirzepatide, right, which is an amazing weight loss. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of folks out there that say, Joey, it's dangerous. Listen, I've done my research on it. I think there are absolute ways to make sure that the side effects that are out there can be avoided, and you got to be smart, okay? If you're just going to take it and keep drinking alcohol and eating crappy food, I've taken this stuff, and let me say this. I would not talk about anything or try to sell anything I haven't taken. Everything that we talk about in TKO Vitality, I'm using. Everyone in the company is using. My co-founder and partner, Brett Summers, he's using it. I'm using it. And again, absolutely, you've got to be smart in how you do this stuff, but it's not stuff we would offer if it wasn't something I was doing. Another thing are peptides, the BP157, the TB500. Okay, there's all kinds of stuff out there you could try that I think P141. I tried personally, tesamorelin, ipamorelin, and samorelin, I'm a huge fan of, especially if you're taking other products like a weight loss product and you want to make sure that you maintain lean muscle. I say this on that segue, bringing up RFK Jr., because he did a tweet months ago before he was confirmed as our Secretary of Health and of the Health Secretary. He was talking about making these things more available to Americans because the American model is not healthcare, it's sick care. And so RFK Jr. is talking about making hormone replacement therapy available, stem cell available, peptides available. This is going to revolutionize this country. When you've got a country where 75% plus are obese, not overweight, obese. We've got more young people, more people my age being diagnosed with diabetes than we've ever had before. It all has to do with the garbage in our food, the chemicals, and the fact that once you get in a hole, I talk about this all the time in my other business, TKO. once you're in the hole, when you get some weight on you, when you're 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight, you see people, we've known folks, they still try to work out, they try to eat reasonably healthy, but they can't get it off. That is the problem with the food manufacturers, with what's in our food. You're never, unless you use certain tools and have access to certain resources, you will never get this weight off. And that's one of the things I'm so excited about in this TKO Vitality, and the fact that we've got someone like RFK Jr. in there to help us shift away from sick care to healthcare and to fitness and to wellness-based living is where we're headed. And I'm so excited about that. And again, there's so much we could talk about. We really could. I could be on here for hours. I want to touch on a couple other things that I think are important. I want to touch about one of the things I talked about was this whole, what we're seeing with the other folks. I won't even call them colleagues anymore. To see people, anything that we talk about that's positive. I've never seen another political party, so hell-bent on seeing America fail. They want the president to fail. They want every cabinet member to fail. They want the FAA to fail. They're actually chuckling about air accidents. I mean, don't even go look. There's way more accidents under Biden, just wasn't publicized. The media is so irresponsible. All you see from the left-wing fake news media is a game of gotcha. They're activists. They're literally activists. There's no support, positivity, optimism. It's just gotcha, 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 gotcha. Bring as many people as you can on to say terrible things about the president, everybody in there. And you heard the talking points right now. So all of last week, it was constitutional crisis. And guys, if you want to check me, if you want to know what state sponsors media is, if you want to know that we're really not living in a democracy like they scream about, all right, you will see that there's state-sponsored media everywhere. Every outlet you look on, they're saying the same exact thing. And go back and look, 2017, 2018, when they start talking about constitutional crisis, and they're all media outlets, all of them saying the same exact thing, happening again. All of last week, it was constitutional crisis. And I'm talking NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, all of them, Reuters, Politico, The Hill. It's like the same thing. You can't get a story that's any different than these talking points, right? And if you go now, this week, what was this week? This week, they came out with Donald Trump's support is collapsing. His support's going to collapse within a month. No, it's not. As a matter of fact, I talk to folks every single day. And again, I come in, I see people, my people, we're fist bumping each other everywhere we go. We could not be more happy with what's happening than we are right now with Donald Trump. And just to give you guys an idea, I thought this was funny. I put this on my Instagram. I'm going to bring this up real quick. I thought this was interesting because you hear everybody talk about, Donald Trump and deporting people. And what I want to know, where was this same kind of energy? Barack Obama deported over 5 million people. Even in Trump's first administration, 2017 through 2020, he deported just under 1 million people. Now, Charlie Kirk sends out a tweet. He says, breaking, Trump deported 37,000 people during his first month in office. Huge, especially since border encounters have plummeted, which are the low-hanging deportations and artificially inflated Biden-era numbers. These are hardened, violent criminals. And Nicholas Fuentes, this degenerate, writes back, Biden's monthly average was 57,000 deportations. 57,000. Did you see one time during Biden's presidency, one protest, one march on a freeway, one senator, a Democrat senator, say a single word? By these numbers right here, Biden was deporting 20,000 more people a month than has his first month. And you would think that everybody's grandmother, everybody's firstborn, everybody's, father who's working 6 jobs was deported. No, they weren't. I'm just framing this for you guys so you can understand how absolutely delusional and out of their minds this other group, this other party is behaving right now. But Trump came in 20,000 less than Biden's monthly average. And they're shutting down the 101 freeway in Los Angeles. They're protesting out in front of every state legislature. They're shutting down Vegas Boulevard. They're shutting down in New York City. They're shutting down by the Loop in Chicago. And we're 20,000 away from Biden's median, okay, from Biden's consistent, normal deportations. I just bring this up because it's gotten so out of hand. Every single thing is gaslit, blown out of proportion, played gotcha nonsense. It's out of control. It's got to stop. And so I'll just say this. Look, we're going to start doing this more often. I want to come on here, talk a couple things. I'd love to know what's important to you guys. Shoot me some messages. DM me when you see this. Share. Please share this. Please get on my Joey Gilbert Inc. X. That's on X. Please get on X and share that. Follow me on X. Also, my Substack, joeygilbert.substack.com or substack.joeygilbert.com, excuse me. Get on that. And also my Instagram, which is Joey Gilbert NV. Please follow me on Joey Gilbert NV. I'll get stairs for Joey Gilbert, Nevada. I'd love to hear from you guys. But share this. We got some stuff coming up. I am looking at some things. I told you guys that I would get back into the fight in some capacity soon. You know that I went, nuts over the COVID stuff, fighting to get the kids back in school, to get our businesses open, get our churches open, okay? Helping military members, teachers. We helped everybody, right? We paid for it. We paid a big price. I pissed some people off. Business went down everywhere, but now we're on the rise back up. So please, even my law firm up in the corner there, Joey Gilbert Law, we do everything. We do personal injury. We do criminal law. We do immigration law for people that have been trying to do things the right way, which was it makes it so crazy with folks coming over here illegally and then being able to stay and draw benefits. Not fair, not cool. But civil litigation, business litigation, you name it, we do it. Wills, trust, probate. We're happy to help you. Got my girl Kendra Jepson with me. So please, if you guys need anything with law, anything with business, reach out to your boy. Make sure you share these things. Make sure you follow me where you can. Get in the fight everywhere you can. It's so important to push back now more than ever. A lot of you people sat on the sidelines, and now you're coming out now with Trump and you're acting like you've been in the fight the whole time. You know what? I'm just happy to have you. I'm just happy to have you now. I don't care if you were dogging on my man Trump 4 years ago, but you're here with us now. Let's go. Let's effing go. Let's get this done. So we still have some big fights. You saw the NCAA did this little shifty policy nonsense, but they're still saying that men can still compete or practice with girls, being on their sports teams with them, and go into their private places. NCAA, shame on you. Shame on you. I'm blown away by that stuff. And we're going to keep fighting till there's no more men in women's sports, no more men in women's bathrooms or their private places. Just stop. And for that Maine governor, that nut job, you see people that are fighting. I mean, what is going on with the Democrat Party? Why is this their hill to die on? It's an 80% issue now. No one wants men in women's sports. So let's get it together. Let's stay in the fight. Like I said, share this. Stay in the fight with me. Follow me. Get on my Instagram. Get on my, on my Twitter, my X. Get on X. Follow me. Share it, and let's get it done. And let's stay in the fight. God bless you. See you next time.